So I've had a few ups and downs with Beginners Fab the past couple of days. Not with the show itself, just with my projects that I'm doing for the show. Hasn't really gone exactly how I had planned, and the frustration of living here in Chile is starting to get to me a little bit. It's not a big deal, not anything to like leave over, but sometimes I just get so worked up about what I'm trying to do for a project and it doesn't work out the way that I want to time-wise or aesthetically, and I get a little frustrated. So honestly, you know what, that might actually be a Beginner's Fab episode about things you need to expect when doing DIY budget fab work to the level that I'm doing it. I mean, this is like really low budget fab work. But so I have made some progress, and at the end of this video, actually, you will see a little bit of work I got done yesterday. It proves that it takes time to get even the smallest amount of work done. And today I actually did some work too, trying to figure out some stuff. Today is Saturday, in case you're kind of wondering where in the scheme of time I am. And it's just, you know, it's so frustrating sometimes because I for some reason I can't get my drill bits, even though they'll penetrate 1/4 inch, they won't penetrate this 3/8. I don't know what's going on. I've got to figure it out. So I'm on the hunt for a plasma cutter, but even the cheap plasma cutters in the States, $300 or $400, they cost me $800 by the time they get here to Chile. And they have some here that are around $600 already here in Chile, but they're like China brands, and they've been rebranded by companies that are importing them here, and I have no idea the quality of them. I know that some of the China ones are a little bit better than others, and that's just what I'll have to use for now. But I don't want one that's going to blow up in my face like some of them evidently have done. And I don't want one that I spend $600 on to last me, you know, what, 2 weeks and then die, or a month and die on me either. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about all that. Plus, anything I buy from the States is going to take me, I don't know, around 8 weeks to get it. So it's not like a real fast process for any of this stuff. I was hoping that somebody was selling those Lotus machines here. That's probably what I'm gonna end up getting, because it's like $460 and it has the arc point feature in it, where as soon as you hit the button, it actually starts the arc instead of having to tap it on the metal and make contact. Well, not tap it, but strike the arc on the metal. So hopefully I'll get one of those soon. But then where I live in the country, I'm so far out in the country here in Chile that we don't actually have an address. We live like off the main highway a distance, so an address here to the locals is the kilometer from the center of the town that you live on the main highway, and then they just ask neighbors until they find you from there. But for like courier services and package delivery services here in Chile, they don't go that way. So I'm talking to a friend of mine in Puerto Varas. I sent him an email to see, because he lives in town, see if he can receive the shipment maybe at his house or at his business. I don't know. I've just got to see what I'm going to do. I'd really like to get me a 180 amp MIG, but right now funds don't allow for that. So it looks like, due to a number of various circumstances, I'm not giving up on the Daihatsu project. Clearly, I'm much closer, I promise. But I've got to do some work. I've got to do some side jobs right now. So I'm going to see about making a couple of trooper bumpers, maybe some rock sliders, and selling those online. I've got a trailer top with the hydraulic lifts, like for the back hatches of a vehicle, that a guy wants for the trailer that he bought a while back. And I've got a guy that's got a big fence, a rolling gate that closes over the front of his property, and he's talked to me before about wanting a peloton. Peatón. What is that? Pedestrian door. You know, so instead of the whole gate having to be opened by the electronic motor and gearing and everything, they can just open that gate, which will mean I have to make a frame, the door, then I'll actually have to go back and cut his gate and install that frame and door into the gate itself. So all of that is possible work. Also, I've got a guy who wants me to make a window cover, so that people, because the window is close to the ground and he doesn't want people, you know, breaking in through that window. So I've got to talk to him too. So you may be seeing some other projects here soon that aren't actually related to off-roading. I'll just have to see how it goes. But today I was kind of today was supposed to be my day off, and it ended up not being much of a day off because I have been just really obsessed about how to get my supports for the spring perches, the leaf spring perches made. And my problem was that I couldn't get the hole saw with the drill, once again, the pilot bit, to drill through the 3/8 and cut the 2.5 inch radius I needed for the axle. The axle that I'm talking about right here. You can see that I've cleaned this off, but if you look really closely, let me see if I can get this image a little bit better there. You can see all that pitting, and that's not from me, that's from before. So I've realized that what's been going on with this axle is that it was actually painted before I got it at some point after the factory. Let me see if I can get this to work again. So there's just pitting and stuff on it that I've got to take care of. And here you can see there's a run in the paint that I never noticed before. So that's from the factory setup. And where this pitting was is really where the spring perch, no, I'm not the spring perch, I'm sorry. This was trailing arms, not link. So the springs were actually on the supports from the chassis to the rear axle, but this is where the bump stop perch originally was. And as you can see, it's just been rusted under there and pitting. I've still got a bit of stuff to do on this axle. I've got to get it done though soon. It's been sitting out in the weather. Every time I try to plug up the brake line threads for the brake system, they keep coming out, and it's rained a couple times, so I hope not too much water's gotten in there. I've got to cut off the panhard mount on the axle itself, and I've got to get it off of the, what's it called? Man, my head's not working today. Off the chassis as well. And then I've got to rebuild the axle. At least I've got to take all the diff oil out and check the diff and the ring and pinion and put new oils in it and all that kind of stuff. But I'll just see how bad all this is once I get into this. But I did make some progress today. I'm not going to show you much about it, but I will show you what I did today. So today I'm sorry, the sun's behind me, so you won't be able to see very well for the moment. But today, I am proud in the fact that I did make some progress. So let's talk about what I made. Well, you know it's out of metal because you could hear it clunk. So here's what I made today. Oh, look at that. That's right, my first spring perch is done. Now I'm gonna show how I made it later, maybe tomorrow, because I think I'm gonna work tomorrow. But it fits. It fits well. I still need a what's it called? A plasma cutter, but it still fits. So if anybody feels like donating some money to the cause of Eric getting a plasma cutter in Chile, it's welcome. I don't expect it, but it is welcome. So there you go. I got some work done. Super stoked that I got some work done. Super stoked that I mean, I've been fretting over these stupid radiuses for a while because I attempted it a couple of ways and then I rethought it through and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this another way. And after trying it the new way, it actually turned out. But I'm still lacking the hole saws I need to make the other brackets for the other side, and I still have to finish welding up the what's that called? The shackle mount in the rear. So I still have to do that. Once I do that, then it will be good to go, I think. So, been an interesting week. Had a little welding job that I got to do, which was fun to get out of that. I'll show you a little bit about that. And I just got into some other stuff. And so with this being figured out now, hopefully this thing will almost be done. I mean, I'll explain once again in case you've forgotten why that shackle, that leaf spring perch is so wide. There's a reason for that, I promise. It's not out of forgetfulness or stupidity. There is a reason. So I'll go into that as well. And well, until next time, just as always, please don't forget to stop by my sites, my stuff. All the support you guys give me is appreciated. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe to the videos. Also, don't forget that you can subscribe to the newsletter, which honestly, I'm getting back up to speed in a revamped form. And you can check out everything at ericmcgrew.tv or beginnersfab.com. And also every week, that's one thing that I've been diligent about. Every week I have a new podcast out with Off-Road Independence. In fact, I actually ordered some shirts that hopefully will be here soon. So we'll see how it goes soon. And until next time, just have fun and be safe out there in your rig.